some exciting news that I wanted to share with you. So let me actually grab this really quick. Da-da-da. I ran a 5K a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to do a little story time about it. This is the cute little medal that they give you when you finish. I think the back's just plain. And this is the strap. So I actually ran this, so this race was actually a half marathon and 5K, which it says right there. I did not do the half marathon, I did the 5K. I do plan on doing a half marathon, but not there yet. And as you can probably tell by the medal, I ran it in Rhode Island. So me and my sister actually ran it together. I've been running for the past like 3 years, and I finally convinced her guys to start running. She literally only started running like not even a month before this 5K. It's crazy. It's crazy that she was even able to do this distance without stopping and like needing to take a walking break. I surely could not do that when I started running. So major props to her. But we ran it together, and it was so fun. I've never done a 5K before. I have done a 10K, but that was over a year ago at this point, and that was back in Austin, Texas. But it was like a really fun little second foray into doing an actual race, and we are doing another 5K next month. So hopefully we'll do even better in that one, and that's probably all I'll do, at least before the half that I plan on running at the end of this year. Sorry, my background lighting keeps like dying, so the lighting might go away within a few minutes, but it's here for now. And I just wanted to give you a little story time about the day, how it went. So it was at 7:30 in the morning in Rhode Island, and I live in Boston. So I woke up at 4 a.m. if I'm remembering correctly. Very early. I woke up very fucking early. Might have been 4:30. I don't remember. I don't know. It was around 4 a.m. I woke up because I wanted to eat beforehand and like feel more awake and not like groggy from sleep still. And I definitely needed to have coffee. So I woke up, let my dog out, made some coffee, ate some breakfast, got ready, didn't end up having time to stretch before I had to leave. So I decided to just do that at the race. And I left, I don't remember what time I left, probably around 5:30. And then I got to the marathon, I got to the race, and the parking situation was so confusing, and also there was a lot of traffic, people trying to park, and it was weird because there were signs and people directing us all this one way to go park, but then it literally took us right back out to the road that they directed us away from. So it was just like a major waste of time. It added like 10 minutes to the time, which was really unfortunate because then by the time I finally got parked and everything, I didn't get out of my car until like 7 a.m. And the race is at 7:30. So really pushing it because I also did need to walk all the way to the start of the race, which was probably about 10 minutes from the parking lot. And then I had to stretch and go to the bathroom before. So not a lot of time. I finally found a bathroom, but my sister was like at the start of the race, so I passed the first few and then went to one closer to the start, but the line was so long. It was so long. I made my sister come meet me in line. We stretched while in line, and then I didn't even get into the bathroom until probably like 7:26 or something. But there was a lot of people behind me, so I wasn't like super concerned. And like it measures when I cross the start line and when I cross the finish line, so it was like even if I was the last one to start, I think it would have been fine. But I get in finally. There were only 4 stalls and one of them was broken, so 3 stalls, and there was a million people in line. So I finally go, and then me and my sister have to run to the start line. We got there probably right at 7:30, but there was a huge line of people at the start anyway, so we didn't even cross the start line until like 7:35, I think. But yeah, then we were running, we were going. We had a lot of fun. There were a couple hills. There was one that was a little bit steep, and my sister was like low-key dying during it, but I was not about to let her stop. I don't think she would have, but I was like, no, we got this, come on. And we did it. It was actually really pretty, very beautiful. We like ran around through this park, and they were like, I don't know if it was like a lake or a pond, or I don't think it was the ocean. That sounds really bad of me. I don't know, some kind of body of water. We went over a little bridge. There was a lot of other people, and it was really fun. And then the end, it ended on a track actually, which is weird. I wasn't expecting that, but I was scared it wasn't gonna actually be a 5K, because by the time we got to the track, we were still only at like 2.9 miles, and I was like, this isn't boding well. But literally right as I crossed the finish line, my watch read 3.11, and I was like, thank God. But it was so cute. They took photos, and so we have like photos crossing the finish line together, which was adorable. And then they did have like live music after, but we didn't stay for that. They didn't really have very many booths. nothing that we like were super interested in. So we hung out for a little bit, and then we left and we went to get breakfast because it was like 8:30 in the morning by the time we left, so we still had a whole day, which was crazy to me. But another thing that I wanted to show you from the race is my race shirt. It's so cute. The back's just blank, but it's actually Brooks, which is really cool. Like, I love the material, and I have gone for a run in it since getting it, and it is like so lightweight, and it was awesome. Loved it. It just says the same thing the medal says, which is Rhode Island Half Marathon and 5K. I cut my nails, so I can't really like make many tapping sounds on it, but I can give like little scratchy sounds. I hear little snoring sounds. My dog is sleeping under my bed right now. But yeah, this is the shirt, and it's actually crazy because my favorite color is gray, so it worked out perfectly. I actually am gonna go for a run later today, so maybe I'll wear that. It's been super cold here, but it's starting to warm up a bit more. Also very rainy, which is really annoying. On the day of the race, it was a little chilly, but not bad. I think it was maybe like 58 or something. And I think it got into like the very low 60s while we were there. I guess I can also talk about my running shoes. I was debating making a video on my running shoes, and maybe I will, but I ran in the New Balance Super Comp Trainers V2. And I have put so many miles on those. I've put over 400, but they still feel amazing. Like, I don't, like, you can kind of tell when shoes are dead, and they still feel great, and I hope they last me a long time more, because I don't want to buy new ones yet, because I really like them. I have the neon dragonfly color, which is like a bright orange. And a funny story, whenever I was staying with my sister in New York last year, her dog ate the shoelaces off of them, so I had to buy just like black shoelaces on Amazon. So they kind of look really tacky now, but they still work great. Yeah, they're super comfortable. I feel like I run faster in them than the Asics that I have for some reason. I have the Asics Gel Nimbus 25, I think, some reason they just like feel so heavy on my feet. Like they make it like I run slower when I wear them. And I don't really know why. I know they're more of like a recovery shoe. And that was my intent when I bought them, but I had to use them for all my runs when my New Balances were shoelaceless. And I was running slower on every run. So I don't know. I think they are better for my feet. Because like my feet don't hurt as much when I wear those as opposed to my New Balances. But I don't know, they make me slower, so I don't like to use them. But my first ever running shoe were the On Cloud Surfers, and oh my god, I loved those shoes. Something about them, they're super light and they make you feel like they push you forward as you walk. So like you feel like you can go on forever. It's the craziest experience. I love them. I would definitely recommend them. The only bad thing is that mine, I had to retire them only at like maybe like 300 miles. I don't know, they kind of like lost their bounce pretty early into using them. I think I used them, it wasn't very long, it was maybe like 6 months combined. I know it's like hard to gauge because I was injured and couldn't run for a few months that I had them, but maybe 6 months combined. But also that's like very different depending on how much you run per week. At that point, I think I was running around 20 miles a week, which I'm trying to get back to. I took a very long break from running last year, kind of into the beginning of this year, where I would just kind of run sporadically, but not like a set amount of runs a week. And so I'm just trying to build back my pace because I want to run. I want like run a good half marathon time. My goal would be to be under 2 hours, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, this long ramble, that was all to say that I ran in the New Balances and I love them. So if you have any recommendations that are similar to the New Balance Super Comp trainers that you think I would like once I need to retire those and get another pair, please let me know. Yeah, I just thought this would be a fun little story time, a fun little part of my life to share with you all. I will keep you updated on how the 5K goes next month. And hopefully how the half marathon goes at the end of this year. I guess I didn't make very many sounds with the strap, but I don't really know that I like the way it sounds. There is a Velcro part, so I guess I could. Is this too loud or is this relaxing? can lower the volume when I edit if it's too loud. Anyway, thank you for listening to my little ramble. Let me know if you're into running at all. It's become a passion of mine the past like 3 years. I hated running my entire life. And then something about being able to do it whenever I want and just for fun and for me, instead of being like forced to do it in school, it really makes all of the difference. And I never thought I would be someone to like actually run in races. And the reason I even ran a 10K last year is because my coworker was, and so that made it feel like less scary. And then I still did run that one alone. I didn't end up finding my coworker during it, and it was like separated into groups by pace, and we had different paces. But she had signed up and she asked me if I was doing it, and I wasn't, but then like I felt inspired too because of her, and it was like a fun little thing for us to kind of bond over. So I did that, and then doing something with my sister was so fun. I have been planning on doing a half marathon like for the past maybe year and a half. So like I did always have doing another race in the back of my mind, but I didn't like have any set plans to do a 5K. So it was just like a fun little surprise that we ended up doing one. But anyway, I've rambled enough about this 5K. I hope this was relaxing for you all. I have no idea how this metal tapping sounds, but hopefully good. Because I've been tapping on it the whole time. It's put my dog to sleep, that's for sure. You can probably hear her snoring. Anyway, thanks for sticking around, listening to me ramble. I hope you have a great rest of your day or a great night.